DJI Air 3S hits FCC Database. Got that coming up next. Bill the Drone Reviewer here. If you like the content of this video or anything on my channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any future content. With that, let's begin. The other night, I hosted Rotor Talk Live and was joined by Mr. Marcus Crawford and Mr. Ron Brown. We spent the better part of the evening discussing all the latest about the DJI Air 3S hitting the FCC database, including the specifications that we know of at this time. We also talked about a possible release date as well, and much more. So without any further ado, let's roll that clip in its entirety. DJI Air 3S, and we're going to take a look at several things here. Now, first thing, and I don't have it, but someone had posted in Drone Nation what looked like a DJI announcement for next week. All right.
Right.
And it was in, obviously is in Chinese. I couldn't read it. And that was the only spot I've seen it. I don't know where he got it. Because I looked at on Twitter and I couldn't find that. It was on
Twitter and Jasper, somebody said it was fake.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Which I kind of thought. Okay. Now the big news here, and we're gonna get to this right now.
The big news is Bill discovered the FCC filing today.
Yeah, and it's out there, which let's go ahead and go over this here. All right, DJI Air 3S drone bags FCC certification ahead of launch. Okay, DJI Air 3S appears to be on the cusp of global launch as the drone has surfaced on the U.S. Federal Community FCC website. The FCC listing confirms the model number for the new DJI drone. Air 3S will succeed the dual camera Air 3 drone, which features 1 1/3-inch sensors, up to 46 minutes of flight time, omnidirectional obstacle sensing, and the DJI OcuSync 4 HD video transmission system. According to the FCC, the upcoming drone will feature a slightly bigger battery, 4276 milliamp hours, than the Air 3's 4241 milliamp hour batteries. Okay, and then you can see right here, this comes up. Let's get this up here. Okay, that's a look at the DJI Fly app. So,
but Bill, that's showing it in the in the Fly app on a device. Now, I uploaded the most recent version of Fly app on my phone. It just came out the weekend, and I couldn't choose the Air 3S. It wasn't in my the selection of drones. When you had the phone.
Yeah.
Right now, Ron.
Good.
Yeah.
See if you find it. I couldn't find it.
And I'm going to get that art. Okay, it's back.
That picture may be a fake.
Okay. Previous leaks indicated the Air 3S could offer major camera upgrades, including new shooting modes, enhanced dynamic range for low light photography, and possibly a larger 1-inch sensor with a similar 1 1/3 inch sensor. Users may also be able to capture stunning panorama shots with a resolution of up to 13,000 by 6,500 pixels directly from the drone. DJI and they're talking about the Neo here for the rest of that here. All right, now I want to go over. There's another one here I want to take a look at real quick. All right.
I'm updating, Ron.
Okay, do it, Marcus. Do it. I hope you get the Air 3S on your
DJI 3S spotted in FCC database, launch imminent. Model number, FCC ID, battery specs, and we just went over the battery right there. It is a battery upgrade. It's a really kind of a small, minuscule upgrade for the battery here. It's not that much. They're saying the old batteries might be compatible with the new Air 3S, but that kind of remains to be seen. Hi Kesselu says a small increase could translate to longer flight time or support additional features, and I think it's probably going to support some additional features. That's just
so probably all these bigger batteries will get us back to the battery life of the Air 3.
Right. Now, what we're seeing right here is we don't have official specs or features yet, apart from DJI 3S rumors and leaked photos. The appearance in the FCC database is a clear indication DJI is gearing up for launch. The drone community is buzzing with anticipation, eager to see what the Air 3S will bring to the table here. Okay, and of course these are some photos that have been going around.
Box and everything.
And Drone XL's take Air 3S appearance in the FCC database is exciting news. Drone enthusiasts As we've seen with previous DJI rumors, these leaks often precede significant advancements in drone technology. The slight battery upgrade hints at DJI's continuous effort to improve flight times and overall performance here. The potential backwards compatibility with older batteries is a user-friendly move. If confirmed, that's a feature that could make the upgrade more attractive to current Air 3 owners. As we await the official announcements, clue that DJI continues to push the boundaries. And okay, so really kind of saying more of the same here. But and I want to go out there and say this, okay? Usually when we see an FCC announcement, we're probably about a month out before we see an actual announcement, before we have the official announcement from DJI. What do you guys think?
Well, Bill, let me ask you a question. After we get the FCC file and confirm, like we did say today or yesterday, whenever that came out, how long after the FCC file do we start to see the really good rumors? I mean, the rumors that mostly turn out to be true. Is that a week, 2 weeks? What's the timeline?
We'll probably see it in about a week, maybe less than 2. I would say less than 2 for sure. Definitely a week.
Real good rumors where we get.
We'll see the real good rumors. We'll see some real good stock photos of it. We'll probably see some photos of it with the boxes. We'll probably see some photos of it with the specs on the box. We'll know a lot more next week. By this time next week, I wouldn't be surprised if we have some of those leaks out.
Because I think Jasper Igor, one of those guys, they were predicting like early November for the Air 3S after this FCC leak.
I'm with Nemo.
Hello, Barry.
I'd vote for him.
So what was your question again, Bill? Thank you.
No. I was going to say with the timing here, okay, I think we're about a month out from an announcement, which would kind of make this towards the end of October, roughly November, October, 20th, in that kind of a time frame. I think it's probably in light of having a November release for this. That would work well, because apparently now, and I don't know what we're going to see with the Action 5. Who knows as far as the inventory is concerned, because we were all washed up. We were thinking, with the Neo, Amazon, same day delivery. We're going to get it. No problem. Best Buy, it's in stock. It's been sitting in pallets back in the store. And then, what happens here?
They effed up that Neo release. I'll say that. I mean, I just, it was very disappointing. And Bill, I actually canceled mine, I don't know, a couple days after that all came about. And I used my friend Ron Brown's link to get it on Amazon. But Ron, I want you to know that if it does come out and I do buy it, I'm going to use your link again.
What's your guys' feelings when the Action 5 Pro? Do you think it'll be a normal release, or it'll be another like crazy like pre-order release, or no guess?
Who knows, Ron? Because this thing, what happened with the Neo has kind of like upset the apple cart as far as releases are concerned, because and we were talking about it, right before the Neo came out. I remember we were all talking, saying like, oh yeah, it's going to be out there day one, no problem. We'll be able to walk in Best Buy, pick it off the shelf, take it home. I'll be able to get it same day from Amazon. And then look what happened here. Okay, and it's one of these. It's like a roller coaster with DJI. You don't know what you're getting right now. All right, we can. I'll just throw this out here. With the Action 5 coming out on Thursday, it might be in stock, and it might be you can order it, pick it, go into Best Buy, get it off the shelf, or order from Amazon, get it delivered that day. Okay, or it may be another Neo. It might be a couple of weeks out. And who knows with the Air 3S. Okay, now I'm gonna say this. Okay, with the Air 3S, because we're still a little ways out from that. All right. I'm going to make an educated guess and say you'll probably have a fairly quick delivery on that, maybe 1 to 2 days at the most. This is just an educated guess. I'm just shooting from the hip on this, okay? I think it's 1 to 2 days out. I think they got their issues fixed with the Air 3S, because we all surmised those couple of crash pictures that we saw was the reason for the delay. And I think this had a domino effect, okay? Because I don't think they were quite ready, and this is just me surmising here. I don't think they were quite ready to put the Neo out, okay, when their hand got forced with all this stuff with the Air 3. So they advanced the release of the Neo, but it wasn't quite ready. They didn't have enough of it product in stock. So they still went with the release, but okay, you're not going to be able to get it till first week of October, kind of a thing. All right.
It was ready for the rest of the world, but not the U.S.
Well, yeah, I'm just shooting.
I hear you. I hear you. Hey, John Olson's got a question here that I think Ron and I can answer. Remote turning on and off your DJI camera. You can't the Action 4. You can do that if you have the DJI Mic 2. Hit the button on the Mic 2, starts recording or stops recording. Anything to add, Ron?
He said remote could turn. I guess he means turn recording on. Whether we don't know if he means turn recording on, turn the whole
or just turn the whole camera on or off. Yeah, I know of no way to.
I don't know that, but also besides what Marcus said, you have the DJI Mimo app on your phone. You can stop and start recording for the Mimo app also. So there's two ways that I know of, but I don't know if that'll actually turn the camera on. Either way, I think the camera has to be turned on.
Rambo Tango says here, do you think DJI Mini 5 Pro will be released for the Senate review of the ban? No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
I think we won't see a Mini 5 Pro until next year. All right.
We may never see a Mini 5 Pro.
In the US, you might as well just stick with your Mini 4 Pro. It may be the last Mini for a while.
Those Mini 4 Pros are going to be worth some bucks. I'm telling you.
You're probably right. Well, okay. With the Air 3S coming out, all right, I think we're going to see, it, and you probably know, and this probably isn't a surprise to a lot of you, mine is up for sale, okay, because I'm anticipating this, because, it's a simple matter of cash flow for me, okay? Mm-hmm. I would love to have every drone that I've ever owned, okay, have my shelves lined with them, all right, but you know what? It's a matter of in and out. All right. I'm not a for-profit business. All right. And the IRS very well knows that, because I post my losses every year from Bill the Drone Reviewer, and there are losses every year on this. Okay. It's not what people think it's a glorified money-making operation. Not in the least. Okay.
You mean we don't get rich on YouTube here? We're not all YouTube billionaires?
Well, you know what? And my favorite response ever to that was, I think I had been on 2 or 3 years, had Kelly Shores on, okay? And his response was, he says, you know what? I still drive a 15-year-old Subaru, okay? That was his response, all right? Which was perfect, okay? And he's 100% right, because everybody has all these grand and glorious ideas that, oh, man, they're raking in the bucks and everything and all that. And I'm like, you know what? I make enough money to help keep the lights on. All right. That tells you anything. All right. I make enough money. Let me put you this way. Okay. I make enough money to help pay for groceries. All right. To keep adding fuel to me to fund the show. It keeps Valerie happy. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I want to answer Johnny's question there. He wants to trade his V-Copter for the Mini 4 Pro. I cannot do that, Johnny, but I've got a couple of nice Hubsan drones back here. I'll package them up and send them to you tomorrow.
The ones with the good batteries?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And Jaybird wants to know any word on the VCopter 2. Jaybird, Johnny's the only one that has a VCopter 2 presently. You have to ask him.
Well, 00 is busy with the hover and the whole deal.
And the way it's gone, Bill, those hovers, the Hover Pro and Pro Max, the ones we laughed and said, they won't be out until next year, whatever. The way they're going, they may beat the Neo to the U.S. flyers.
Yeah.
It's very possible.
Hey, Bill, you skipped over KC Crime Fighter's note there. I guess I'm telling you, I'm not sure that delay has anything to do with Congress. Now, could it have to do with some kind of problem importing, right? There was some paperwork not right or something like that. our problems with Congress rise to, I think, a higher level, right, where they could just ban them all together. But I don't think they're micromanaging, when a shipment of drone comes in the country. That's just me guessing too, but that's kind of my feeling.
And of course,
I want to thank Johnny.
We'll never know the true story of why the Neo was delayed. So
right.
Yeah, I want to thank Johnny for his super chat out. It'll be contribution to the IRS. Okay?
Oh yeah. There you go, Johnny.
Much
Johnny always pays his taxes.
Much appreciated.
Hey, Johnny. Also, Johnny, be careful with Lauren's comment there. He'll want to pay you in Canadian dollars, and they're not the same.
To answer Rambo Tango's question, it'll affect it won't affect the way we know it now. Let's change it. It won't affect any drone we're flying now. Any drones you have now, you'll be perfectly fine with. It's just once that ban is signed by the president, and we don't know how long after it goes in effect when he signs it, but assume it goes in effect the next day or whatever.
Well, it has to get recorded to the Federal Register. Once it's recorded in the Federal Register is when it becomes law.
Yeah.
But also the other thing is, to the best of our knowledge, it will not preclude DJI from continuing to sell and support existing drones that already have FCC approval. In other words, if theoretically the ban goes through a year from now, you should still be able to buy a Mavic 3 Pro because that was already approved previously.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
and thank you, Jay Bird, too, as well. That's a good point, Marcus. And to answer Rambo Tango's question here, whatever you have now is fine. Okay. That's not going to be included. Okay. It's anything after that bill is signed by the president and put in the Federal Register and is law. Okay. It's anything after that. But, okay, there may be ways, again, and I know they put that language in the bill, trying to skirt the issue and to get around that, but that's a whole nother show. We're not going to go there. So, and I think DJI is trying to be proactive right now and getting some product out before the end of the year here. All right. And that's why we got the Neo coming out now. That's why we're going to get the Action 5 Pros coming out, and the Air 3S is going to come out in short order. Okay. Now I don't see a Mini 5 Pro coming out this year, but who knows? Okay. Because this has been these past couple of years. Normally there's companies follow some type of pattern. Okay. In their release structure. All right. Because they have to take into account research and development, testing, beta testing, users testing it out, and then before it goes out to the general consumers. All right. And there's a whole lot of factors that they take into consideration. I mean, I majored in business in college. I know. All right. We had to do case studies for our senior project and run a company for a year, simulated. So I know what all goes into this kind of stuff. Okay. DJI is not really following any pattern here. All right. So I'm thinking, especially the past couple of years, that maybe Casey Crime Fighter, you may have a little bit of some good knowledge here, or I would say not knowledge, but you may be onto something, because I think what's been happening with the legislation that is pending, I think that's affected a lot how DJI is running their business right now. I think that's how they're gearing these release cycles. I think that's why they're trying to get this product out and be able to have some good product out there. And the Air 3S, it's going to be coming out, and it's going to be coming out. I would say you're going to have a release date in early November sometime. That's just off the top of my head. I really believe that we'll have an announcement probably towards middle, third week of October, around 20th or so. And I think by around November 1st, we'll have this product in our hands. Okay. And will it shine better than the Air 3? Absolutely. I think it's going to be, as much as I said, as I love that Air 3, and it was one of my very favorite drones I've ever owned. Okay. Air 3S is going to kick that up a notch.
Okay. I got a question for the two of you.
Yes,
so let's say, the ban goes through, and before the end of the year, DJI can't import any new products to the U.S. Will we in the U.S. ever see a consumer drone company again where we can buy the kind of consumer drones that we like to fly. I'm not talking about professional drones, not talking about the firefighter drones or any of those. I'm talking about just these good camera drones, or for that matter, even drones like the Avata 2 semi FPV drones. Will there be any company? Can you see any company on the horizon that could step up and provide those kind of products to us?
Yeah, here's yes and no, and the reason I say yes and no, yes, I can see a company that can step up to do this. However, the answer is going to be no, and the reason it's going to be no is they're going to have parts manufactured in the People's Republic of China. Okay, there is just no way around that. All right, let's I'll use my phone as an example. I know it's not. My phone's made in South Korea, okay, Samsung, or Vietnam. That's where Samsung makes theirs, okay. But let's say I'm holding up an iPhone here, all right. Where's that made? All right,
mostly in Shenzhen, China, right now.
Yeah, how much of our products here are made in the People's Republic of China? All right, it's just a gargantuan amount, okay.
Okay, Bill. That said.
Yes.
Then is the whole point of the thing to get our consumer drones out of the air? Not necessarily because it's a Chinese drone, but just to get a bunch of drones out of the airspace. Is that what it's all about?
I agree, and I also think
saying that it is. I'm just
right. And what I'm going to say is this: Original Dobo has laid it out very well on his Twitter account. Okay, and I agree with him 100%. All right, it's just. It's I'll call it an unfair business practice. Let's just put it to you that way. I think what's happening to DJI, all right, because here's the thing, and I've said this before, all right, there's a reason DJI is accelerating this program. There's a reason we're going to see the Air 3S, okay, sooner rather than later. And who knows, they may even surprise us with a Mini 5 Pro for Christmas. Who knows, okay? There's a reason that they're advancing all this because they have a feeling that this is going to happen. But, we could all be wrong. We could all say, we're all uptight. The Senate may just say, you know what, we're going to lay this bill down and not have anything to do with it until after the new president takes office. Okay. And then it just sits there. All right. And, until they do something, until they either vote on it or they not vote on it. All right. It just sits there.
I'd love to hear Ron. Ron, is there anybody else that you, in your mind, that could step up and provide us?
I'll give the sarcastic answer here first. It better be if the Congress and Senate are going to this much effort to ban DJI/Chinese drones, so American companies have to. If they're wasting all this time on this or whatever, they better know that's going to happen, right? I mean. Right? I mean, how crazy to do all this and there's nothing coming. That would make those lawmakers look stupid. If they went to this effort and they didn't get a for sure sign off that these drones were coming in 5 years.
But that's kind of part of why it doesn't make sense. I mean, just exactly what you just described, Ron. So that's what's so weird about it, and that's what makes me kind of think, I'm not paranoid, but it makes me think, well, gosh, are they just trying to get hobby drones out of the air? It's a roundabout way to do it. They're not banning them. They're
I don't know why
to buy them.
Well, I mean, they tried that technique that they tried the thing that the drones are unsafe. They tried that, but of course they lost that because all facts show that there's very few drone accidents. So their unsafe thing didn't really fly. So they had to move on to other things. Well, they're stealing. I mean, they're stealing data for the Chinese military or whatever, along with the helping the American businesses start making drones so they can make data safe drones that aren't sending stuff back to somebody else's military. So they kind of took a atomic bomb approach where they tried every single argument why drones should be out of the air, except the one that they just don't want consumer drones in the air just because.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that's what it's
we didn't mention this too. A lot of people think they don't want them in the air because the Amazon delivery drones, they'll be in the way of those drones too. That's another theory that's out there.
Yeah.
I mean, pick your theory of the day on this.
Yeah.
Pick your theory. But I think it's multifaceted, and I think probably the whole crux of it is there is somebody in a company that just wants to push DJI out of the way. And like I said, go over to Twitter, check out our original Dobos account. He spells it out real clearly there.
I hear all this Skyio stuff. But what I don't understand, Bill, if that's the argument, Skyio got out of the consumer drone business. So why would they want DJI out of consumer drones? They don't sell them.
Does that mean the day the DJI ban is signed, that the next day Skyio is back in consumer? Is that what we're thinking?
Yeah, my point is that I don't. That's how that argument doesn't make sense to me. That it's all on Skyio is because I don't. I know they make some commercial products, but our military isn't going to buy DJI drones. However, they are going to buy Skyio drones. So that doesn't preclude. Why would they need to get DJI out of the?
And plus, Skyio wasn't a very good consumer drone maker when they were doing it.
Exactly right. Ron and I talked about that today. I used my Skyio 2 the other day. I was tracking a scooter that I got sent, and it worked. It works really good for that. But that's the single thing that it's good for. I mean, it really is. It's really got one purpose. So yeah, they were never really. Their heart was never really in the consumer market. So
except to make a niche drone, they made one niche consumer
to make a niche drone. So why? So that's where that argument doesn't make sense to me. That it's all Skyio pushing them out. And I'm not saying I have all the facts. I'm just saying that's where that doesn't add up to me.
Who could be part of it. Hey, Bill, I know you're trying to wrap up here in a couple minutes, but I proposed this question to Mark saying I'll propose it to you. If DJI really, if they think the Air 3S is their last U.S. drone for a while, whatever, will they really pack this drone? I mean, really put everything they can into it, and maybe everything hardware-wise, figuring, okay, if we put all of the advanced hardware we can always improve it down the road with big firmware updates, and that'll help boost sales again. Say they put it out now, and then a year from now, they release some big firmware update that adds all this new features because they already have the real good hardware in it. That'll kind of give sales another boost or whatever. So, I mean, for a couple of years, they could just come out with like these really super duper firmware updates that'll keep interest in that drone for years to come if they pack it with all the cutting edge hardware they can right now.
That makes 100% perfect sense, Ron. I agree with you 100%. They're going to pack this thing. It's going to knock everybody's socks off. I can tell you that. You know how Marcus always says, right before release, DJI is going to have something on there that we didn't know about that we're going to want.
This may have a couple things on there we didn't know about.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. That's going to happen. And that is such a smart marketing move that you just said, Ron. Okay. Because they're not going to ban the sale. I mean, this drone will still be available for sale. It will still have, you want to use the word legacy. It will still have shelf life because, here we are a year from now, they'll come out with this major firmware update. It's going to add a whole laundry list of features, and it's going to be like Christmas 2025. All right. We're going to have all these other additional features on this drone. They're going to keep selling them on. And you realize too, here's another thing that I don't think a lot of people are taking into account. All right. DJI can still sell, not only the drones, but their accessories like batteries. Okay. And, prop guards and propellers and who knows what else. All right.
Yeah.
So that, part of their business, it's not going to dry up. If that bill becomes law, okay, their business in the United States isn't going to dry up.
Bill, I know we're right up against it, but I got one more question for you guys. So
go ahead.
Say this all comes down and this happens in the U.S. We know from things like remote ID and other things that, hey, it started in the U.S., but now there's countries all over the world that have adopted that remote ID standard in Europe, in many countries in Asia, etc. Canada doesn't have it yet, but could the same thing happen with this? Could then Europe follow what we're doing? Could the folks in Canada look at it and say, well, gosh, we better ban those drones too? Could that be part of it? I kind of feel bad for other countries because we kind of
or let me say the opposite. What if no other countries do file suit? What if nobody else bans it? We'll be the only country in the world that thinks the Chinese military is getting information from drones.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I wish we could all feel better about it if somebody would ever show us that smoking gun.
And right now, I don't know how many countries there are in the world, but not one country in the whole world has shown you any data that the Chinese military is stealing sensitive information. I mean, outside of 5 years ago when they got somebody's driver's license, but I don't mean somebody's driver's license. I mean stealing data of secure locations
how does that affect national security? That's the point. And we've never seen that. We've never seen that.
Getting somebody's driver's license isn't good at all. That's bad, real bad, but it doesn't affect national security.
Yeah.
I'll say something on that in a second here. My friend Casey Crime Fighter, this channel is going to go on. We're not going anywhere. I'm going to tell you that right now. Okay. They're going to have to pry this channel from my cold dead hands.
We'll rename it Bill the Banned Drone Reviewer.
You know, Ron and I had that same discussion today, Bill, about Drone Nation, and we both, even if there's 10 people watching, we'll still be doing Drone Nation.
Oh, absolutely.
It'll just be called Band Nation.
Yeah.
There's going to be, and you know what? And you brought up the whole crux of it, Marcus, which was great. Okay. And Ron, you know, there's no smoking gun. We have not, nobody has showed us a shred of evidence, not one. Okay.
There's no grassy knoll. There's no library.
I mean, that's the thing. I think if that kind of evidence was presented to us, we'd go, oh, yeah, okay. I don't want to put my country at risk. I won't. I don't want to do that. But they've never been able to show that, and it makes no sense. We've all had the tired argument about how our cell phone gathers more data and so forth, and it does. And by the way, I guarantee you this Apple phone was made in China, so I don't. It's weird.
It's recording a lot more pictures and videos than any drone is.
Yeah. So none of the argument makes any sense. It's just weird.
In what? There's a ham radio manufacturer that I know from China. Okay, so it's. None of it makes any sense. Okay. And I don't think I think we've hashed this over eons and eons worth. Suffice it to say this, okay, for the topic of the night with the Air 3S, all right. I think Ron really just hit a super critical point and a great one where a year from now that drone's still good. They'll come out with a super firmware update that will knock our socks off, add all these additional laundry list of features to it, and it will make it a drone. I'm just going to say this, okay, on par or maybe better than the Mavic 3 Pro, all right? It's going to have that kind of an impact on it. We'll still be talking about it. We'll still be doing shows on it. We'll still be using that drone to shoot video with, okay, and telling everybody about all these new great features out there. People will keep buying batteries, adapters, accessories, and the drones themselves. This isn't going anywhere, folks.
Yeah. Okay. How long do you think it'll take the American drone makers that'll appear, I guess, the day after the event? How long will it take them to create a drone that's as good as the Air 3S at about the same price point?
Years. Never.
I'm going to say a minimum of 3, 4, or 5 years. Minimum.
Yeah.
Minimum.
So in other words, these American drone companies that pop up, they'll still be competing with it'll still take them years to compete with DJI's older products.
Hey, Ron, you remember the Hubsan 501S?
Yeah.
That's the drone we're going to get first. So we're going to go back that far.
Uh-huh.
And then we'll just work our way up. It'll give us a lot of things to talk about on Drone Nation and Rotor Talk Live.
Well,
Warren says, I disagree. He said, if there is no future in new sales, why would you dramatically improve a drone? Well, I mean, Lauren, I think what I'm trying to say is, if they keep it around, they can still get a lot of sales. Or not everybody's going to upgrade the day it comes out. Some people may not need to upgrade for a year, 2 years, or whatever. If they keep that drone relevant, even though it's newer drones released in other parts of the world, I think people still buy a top of the line drone, even though it's a couple years old.
And I'm going to say this, and I know what Lauren just posted right here. You know, I go out every day and I look at what I'll call the legacy DJI drones, like the Spark, the original Mavic Air, the original Mavic Pro. Okay, people are still, you know, selling those drones, buying those drones, looking for batteries, looking for props. They still use these drones. Okay, there was a discussion going on about the Go 4 app. Okay, it's still valid. It still works. People still use it. Okay, so these drones don't go anywhere.
People use these drones in commercial applications, Bill, making money with them.
Yeah, a lot of people are still using their Phantom 4 Pros out there for commercial use. All right, you just learn to compensate for some of its weaknesses, and you use it, and it's a great tool. It really is. So I'm going to agree to disagree with you, Lauren. I respect you. You're great. You're fantastic. But I'm going to say, you know, this is something that I think that DJI is going to skirt this issue, and this is a great way to skirt this issue. And it's still going to make this drone relevant even a year or two from now. I agree with Ron 100% on that. Question of the day. What did you think of DJI Air 3S Hits FCC Database? Let me know in the comments section below. Thanks so much for watching, and remember, it's a great day to fly.